Yeah, rubbing our hands together, getting excited, getting ready. Ladies and gentlemen, oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. We're baking, and we're live, and we're visible, and we're scrumptious, and we're delicious. What are we baking? You say, hang on, we're baking? Baking silhouette stream, Valentine's Day? I don't get it. Well, I got a cookie recipe. It's a very easy recipe. Anyone can do it. It like genuinely anyone can do it. It's pretty much just grab like these 5 ingredients, mix them together, grab these 5 ingredients, add them, and then put it on a tray. It's deadly easy, and you know what else? It's deadly delicious. People have died eating these because, you know, if you put nuts in them, which is an optional. There's optional extras as well. It's a bit of a choose your own adventure bake. I got a bowl. And you know what? I got bowl tricks as well. Check this. Bet your grandma can't do that. The first step to making delicious cookies is one I did off stream, but it's the most important step of all. Wash your hands. Alright, I see you sitting there. In your sleeping bag. Your hands have been in that sleeping bag. You've been sweating onto your hands. And don't worry, ladies and gents. We got better ways of adding salt to our cookies than having sweaty hands, so wash your hands. Don't use soap. Just spit on your hands a couple times. And then get like a paper towel and rub it in. And you'll be good from there. You're gonna need 250 grams of butter. Left out to soften, preferably, but if not, you can just kind of hold it like that. You can replace some of this with margarine. I don't know the exact numbers, but one time I had like 100 grams of butter. I was like, oh shit. And then I put in 150 grams of margarine with 100 grams of butter, and it turned out fine. So, worst case, I mean, you could try replace it all with margarine. Right, maybe that would work out for you. Couldn't tell you. I would be estimating. You need about 300 grams of brown sugar. We'll be measuring it in cups when we're putting it in, but it's just if you're going to be purchasing the brown sugar, more than 300 grams in the bag, and you're good. 300 grams in the bag, you're good. You're going to need 1 egg, which we got eggs. You're going to need 1 of them, chicken ones specifically. Don't get like tadpole eggs. I don't think it would work if you only used 1. If you're going to use tadpole eggs, maybe weight equivalent. Bit under 400 grams of flour if you're buying it. We're going to be doing 2 1/4 cups of flour. Self-raising flour, excuse me. That was close. We're going to need salt, just a teaspoon. You don't need much. If you really want, you could just sweat into it. It might water down the cookies a little bit, but yeah, I'm sure the payoff would be worth it. And then, optional, bowl nearly fell off the table. Optional stuff to go in cookies. And that, hang on, you can read the family size, because it's green. It's actually yellow, but it's close enough apparently. You can see that, can't you? Family size. Holy shit, that's awesome. Yeah, these are Smarties. I got Smarties. You can get choc chips, you can get nuts, you can get all 3. This is what goes in the cookie. This is the little extra touch, if you will. You could use caviar. If you were so inclined, you could use caviar. We're using Smarties. Because I got rich tastes. Oh, almost forgot. Gee, thank God I have this written down right there. Oh, I would be in huge trouble. Preheat the oven to 190 degrees Celsius. I'm gonna do that right now. All right, 190 degrees Celsius is what it is, and let me convert that for any Americans. What's the deal with that, by the way? Is there a story behind that? You being American, I mean. All right, about 375 Fahrenheit. Rolling up my sleeves. I got a jacket on. I'm rolling my sleeves back down. It's a bit cold. The first step the third step. First step, wash your hands thoroughly. Second step, oven. Third step, big bowl. Optional 3.5 step bowl tricks. And first thing you're gonna want to do is get that butter. 250 grams of butter. And what can help? This butter is optional as well, but it's a good idea, and it's one I came up with on the spot. I'll be honest, I came up with this one just now. And as I got a butter knife, I'm going to cut it into pieces because we're putting this in the bowl, all 250 grams. And I'm going to cut it into pieces because we're going to mix it with the sugar, and then it'll be easier to do when it's in smaller pieces. See? Now, I don't want you to applaud yet. Save all your applause to the end, but I did just think of this on my own. We're going to be mixing it with a spoon and probably a bit of our hands, which is what we washed it for. But if you've got an electric mixer, which you like, maybe it was a Christmas present you never threw away and never used, you can use that quite comfortably. In fact, that's probably the better option. So, and make sure when you use it, you get a quick picture before using it of yourself with it, smiling over the bowl, and you're holding the phone in this hand. It's like, yeah, and you're holding the mixer with this hand, and yeah, and make sure you send it to the person that gave it to you as a gift, and be like, thanks for this, by the way. I'm getting some really good use out of it. Hey, you want to come over sometime and try my cookies that I made? And then get ghosted. All right, butter's in there, 250 grams, easily. And now, ladies and gentlemen, now we get to the best part. Now we get to add in the sugar. Brown sugar, specifically. Don't use caster sugar. Don't use caster sugar. We're using brown sugar. Specifically, 1.5 cups. All right, I should have got scissors. Scissors aren't part of the cookies, so I didn't think to get them. But I need to open bags. Hang on, let me just think really carefully about how I could potentially open this. Okay, it's open. I got a corner open. This is gonna go everywhere, dude. I can feel it. The amount of force I'm having to apply. Oh, it didn't. Oh, and that's why I'm the one with the bacon tutorial, and not you. All right, we're gonna mix it. I'll be using my hands because I realized how fruitless the spoon would be. If you got an electric mixer, use the electric mixer. If you got hands and you plan to have them be the main source of mixing, make sure they're washed, or at least spat on. All right, this is the moment where I should have rolled up my sleeves, but now I got butter sugar fingers and I can't do it. No, I'll do it with my mouth. We improvise here. Hey. We're baking something for our mouths. We use our mouths. For mouths, by mouths, as they say. It's not working. No, it's working. It's working. Ah, there we go. Up to the elbow. Yeah. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. And just like that. Hey, what did the guy say about Tony Stark in the cave? Tony Stark pulled his sleeves down in a cave with his canines. But I'm not Tony Stark. Right, there we go. It's mixed together. You can dust off your hands of any excess sugar remaining on them into the bowl. Otherwise, that's cleanup. You can do the rest on your pants. It's, Now we add in an egg. 1 egg. Don't go overboard here. I know how you like. I know you love your eggs. Scrambled, right? Yeah, I could tell. It's the chin. You add the egg, not the shells. You could. My hands are here. I could be doing anything. I could be picking my nose right now. I could be picking my nose and eating it. I could be picking my nose and eating it, and you wouldn't know because we can't see my hands because it's silhouette. I could be picking my nose and eating it. You don't know. Eggshells, stay out. I hope I got that message to you in time. Teaspoon of vanilla goes in. Got a teaspoon. You ever eaten vanilla before, by the way? Not like a vanilla flavored thing. I mean, have you ever drank vanilla essence. I did when I was very young. I did once. You know, that's something you only do once. By the way, right now I'm mixing the egg and the vanilla essence in to the sugar butter amalgamation. The egg acts as a bonding agent, which bonds things. And you know what? Eggs are my second favorite agent bond. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? My first one's glue. Third is James. But first one's glue. Don't put glue in your cookies, though. That's for brownies. So you're basically just mixing this together until all of the hard parts are gone. You're going to be left with a soft combination thing, rather than the butter and sugar is pretty much as hard as softened butter. But it's going to be like a thick liquid, not like a soft solid. You understand. You've played Metal Gear. I haven't. It's probably fun. Alright, we got that well mixed. Now it's just a matter of getting the last bits off our fingers and back into the mixture. Again, hands are washed. I didn't use spit, I used a sink. You're free to use spit, it's just I don't have spit glands in my body. I can't generate spit, so I could have waited long enough to like sweat, but that's why I put it on the jacket, but it was taking too long, so I just used the sink, I used the tap, and I washed my hands. I don't have tear ducts either, so that was off the table. Self-raising flour goes in next. Cloud came up. Self-raising flour comes next. 2 1/4 cups of it. And for this, we use the only other tool besides units of measurement that we have. There are 2 tools involved here, and it gets the oven tray later. But in the mixing process, 2 tools. It's the big bowl, and it's a sieve, or a sieve, I don't know. I don't know how it's spelled, I don't know how it's pronounced. It's weird. Normally it's only one of those, because you've either heard it said or you've seen it written down. I don't know either. S-I-V, S-I-E-V-E, S-I-F, S-I-E-F. This. It's got holes in it, but it's small holes. This one's plastic. My bowl, if you want to follow the recipe to the letter, I got a metal bowl. I'm not doing bowl tricks anymore until it's emptied. And I got a plastic sieve. Sieve. Who knows? I'll do sieve tricks. Yeah, you got it. 2 1/4 cups. What you can do is you get your hand and you put it on the side of the sieve, and then you just like tap it against your hand, and there you go. You got dusty flour. Flour's in. Most important ingredient: 1 teaspoon of salt. Don't overdo it. It's in. That's all you need. That's it. That goes from good cookies to wow cookies. And we want wow cookies. Now you mix that all together. You pull up your sleeves. I'm going to add in my Smarties now. The family-sized ones. I want to do it again, because it makes me giggle like a caveman. Come on. Yeah. It's actually really cool looking. You could do a Smarties music video like this. Yeah, you got Smarties. If you got chopped chips, you got nuts. You can do it after mixing the flour in, but I just figured 2 birds, 1 stone. Incredibly keen eye. Combine all of this and you get rested. And then you mix this all together. I felt like I didn't need to say it out loud, but since you were looking at me with that dumb fucking face of yours, I guess I got to narrate every step. That's fine. I'll narrate every step. I'll hold your hand along the way. I was hoping you would show some initiative. This is supposed to be a choose-your-own-adventure bacon stream, for God's sakes. But that's fine. Mix it all together. It's going to be golden brown. I know what that word means, because I'm a baker. And now you do too, because you're mixing it as well with me. You get some delicious delicious cookie batter. Which if you want to eat the cookie batter, and you're making this to eat the cookie batter, don't put the egg in. Because the egg only really helps the bonding when it comes to the oven. And you will get salmonella because it is a raw egg. So if you're making this for cookie batter, don't include that egg. Alright. That's all mixed. Please, come on. Off my fingers. Last little scraps. Alright, I'm not going to take my own advice. Listen, the risk of salmonella is very small. It's just, if you're making it for cookie batter, that means you're eating the whole thing. Don't include the egg. Because it's pointless and then risky. If you're just going to lick off your fingers, that's fine. No, you know what? I'm gonna wash this over here. I'm going to walk over here and I'm going to wash this off my hands with the sink. I'm going to wash it with the sink. God, this sink is delicious. Oh, I just love tap water. Oh, thank God for fluoride in the water. Oh, alright, I'm back from the tap. Oven tray. You can do oven tray tricks if you like. Well, if you like, and if you're incredibly good at what you do. Alright, it's a pairing thing, okay? Not just anyone can do oven tricks, please. Baking paper. Baking paper goes on the baking tray. If you don't have baking paper, you can just spray down the tray with non-stick spray. So it's done. The mixture is done. Now it's just a matter of getting this mixture onto that oven tray and getting the oven tray into the oven. That's why they call it an oven tray. And an entree, when you're eating fancy foods. Do they still do entrees? What even are entrees? Is it just like, here's a bit of grapes before your burger? Weird, I don't get it. Just give me the burger. So, you just spoon. I'm just gonna, you could use your hands for this. And you're about to use your hands anyway, because you go from the spoon to your hand. The spoon is not for the extraction process. It's for the measuring process, because that way you standardize your cookie measurements. You could also use this batter and turn it into one giant cookie. I've done that before. It's good. Well, I haven't done that before. I've turned it into many small cookies and then used what remains for one giant cookie. But that's fine. This size ball, you don't really want to go any bigger than this. Okay? Unless you're planning to do a huge one, because this is going to be a very big cookie. Remember, it spreads out a lot. I like to stack it up in a ball shape rather than flatten it. You can flatten it. When you stack it up in a ball shape, it gets thicker, and that means the soft stays soft. So I like to do that. You don't want it any bigger than this. In fact, I'll normally just do 4 that sized, put them in the corners of the baking tray, and then I'll do a bunch of smaller ones, right? So for example, here's an example of a smaller one, in case you need a visual reference, in case you're a visual learner. You want to space them out well. It doesn't really matter if they overlap with each other, because when you pull it out of the oven, you can just, with a butter knife, cut them while they're still soft and haven't hardened yet. And that separates them. Alright, so I've got 8 balls on this. You can semi-see it. Spaced out nicely. I got a row of 3, a row of 2, a row of 3, so they're not too close to each other. You take that over to your oven. By now it should be heated up to 190 degrees Celsius, which is about 375 Fahrenheit. Memory like an elephant. You put it in the oven. You set an alarm. Now, another optional step, because this is a choose your own adventure baking stream. You can put it in the oven for half of the time, and then take it out and spin it around and put it in to do the other side. And that's absolutely not necessary, right? I'm going to be doing it here, but it's absolutely not necessary and just extra. Ovens haven't been bad enough to require that in decades. They spread the heat very evenly now. Maybe you'll have slightly more brown, golden brown ones at the back and slightly more golden brown ones at the front. That's not a concern to me. Right, I apologize for not sharing in big baking's fucking scare tactics. So I like to put them in for 4 minutes, and then when I'm taking it out to spin them, I like to look at them and just kind of eyeball, okay, should I put it in for like 6 more minutes on the other side? So that's why I like to spin it, because it means I get like a little peek halfway through to figure out if it should be less than halfway through, you know, if that should be like 40% of the way through. We've got flour everywhere, and don't feel bad that you do too, because that's what flour does. Though when you put it in a sieve, and you put it in a sieve, however you prefer, and you go like this, that's what it does. It goes everywhere. But that's it for steps, really. You got your cookies. You got your Valentine's Day cookies. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way, to you. To you. Whoa! You know what that sound is, ladies and gentlemen? It's time for double jeopardy! Oh, perfect. Perfect. I'm a visionary. You know what? I'm an absolute visionary. This turned out simply wonderful. I can tell just by looking at it. Make sure you use oven mitts, or just like a cloth. Cloth works. If you use a cloth, fold it a couple times, but it'll be fine. The other good thing about using baking paper instead of non-stick spray is now you can just lift the baking paper off, put the next baking paper on, and put the next bunch of cookies on. Yeah, and then you're done. You got cookies. If they're kind of melded together Frankenstein-like and you don't want that, just get a butter knife, slice across there, and just push them like a tiny bit apart. And then when they harden, they'll be apart, and you'll be perfect. And that's the bacon done. We're gonna wait a little bit for them to cool down, and then we're gonna eat them. We're gonna eat one, and then we'll say yummy. And just like that, easy cookies, easy life, delicious cookies, delicious life. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you had a good one. Hope you say hooray. Hope you dance the night away. Okay, so I tricked you when I said 8 to 12 because we're putting it in for 14 now. But